it's Helen with So Kind of Wonderful, and we are making our patchwork that goes in the wings of our 9th butterfly in the Butterfly Fields quilt. You can see here, this is called Battleground. So we're going to make 2 of these blocks, and then they get sewn into the butterfly wings. This one right there. Yeah, so this is the one that has this patchwork in it. All right, we are working on number 9, Battleground Butterfly. And this is a series of half square triangles. So we have 9 blocks in our patchwork, and we're making 2 of these Battleground patchworks. So if there are 9 blocks in each one, there's 18 total. So we need to start with 18 squares. And we have 4 of the dark green, 4 of the purple, 5 of the dark green, and 5 of the light green. So we're going to put those, sew those and make half square triangles, sew these and make half square triangles. We're use your favorite method for making a half square triangle. Match them up, right sides together. Draw a diagonal line. This is truly my favorite method. The diagonal seam tape is faster, but I like this for consistency on that first one. So draw your diagonal line. So on each side of the diagonal line, a 1/4 inch away, cut them in half. You know, this is very straightforward. This is just half square triangles. We're going to cut them in half, press that seam open. And so I'm going to do this to all 5 of this set. And then the 4 sets here. All right, here is my first one. And then I will show you how I chain piece my half square triangles. So I'm using my diagonal seam tape, and the red is the center, the black is the 1/4 inch away. And I just lined up the point on the edge of the foot. The point is here. And right now I'm just sewing one side of those because we need to sew on both sides of that diagonal mark. So here you have to imagine the mark is there, and your tape keeps you going straight. All right, I'm just working with one color. I find that easier. I cut my threads, and now I rotate it so that I'm doing the other side. And I'm just keeping the point on the black mark on my diagonal seam tape. Okay. All right, so I'll cut these apart, and then we will cut them diagonally apart also, and press the seams open. Here I have all 18 blocks squared up. Pressed with seam open. All right, now it's time for square up. I am showing you my favorite method, which is just to square up using a square up tool. Squaring them to 2 inches. I'm putting the diagonal mark on the diagonal seam. Trim 2 sides. Rotate your block and now put trimmed edges on the 2s. And trim off whatever's left. Okay, we're doing that for all 18. You can always, bring it down here and use 2 sides that already exist and just trim off all of the extra. The reason we have more is because you would start with a 3, whether you were making a half square triangle or a quarter square triangle. And then if you use this method, I just like to go back and take off those little tails. Okay, so square up all 18. All right, so now it's just laying them out. So just look at the book. You can tell that you've got the green. The green is always, I think of this, like the dark green is going to the left. And so I'm laying it out. Make sure you can see. And then the rest of these will be the lighter green with the dark green. Okay. Again, here's where you're changing it. If you're looking for a little bit different look, just flip one thing, it changes everything. This is your traditional Battleground block, these half square triangles. So again, we'll sew rows and then we'll sew rows together and then we'll make another one. All right, I pick up my first 2 in that top row. Just take care to keep everything oriented correctly. And then don't cut your threads, just take up the next 2. This is the method I like. If you have a different method for sewing patchwork together, you should use your favorite method. And then the next row. Don't cut your thread yet in between rows. Just go back to the very first row, pick up that last one in that first row. And then the next. And the main thing here is just make sure the block is not getting twisted around when you sew it together. Okay, so those are all correct. I'm looking at the dark green. Yes, it's in the right spot. Yes. Okay, so for me now, I'm just flipping over one of the columns onto the middle. I'm going to alternate the seams and kind of just go the way it wants to go the first time here. And then do that again. Sometimes I push everything to the middle block, but this patchwork has half square triangle in every block. So I'm not pushing it to the middle. And then check, yes, those look good. Now turn it, do this last one. And now I do need to check and make sure, okay, which way is this going to nest? So let me get started here. All right, I can look on the bottom. So the bottom seam is going away from me. That's how I think of it. So then the top seam is coming towards me. And then you can check in the back. Yes, none of the seams got flipped. Now our last thing is to clip those little loops. And now we'll go press. Okay, here are my two Battleground Patchworks. They're actually very fun. I love the light and the dark. I love the blue accent, purpley blue periwinkle color accent. They're really fun to make. So those go in your number 9 Butterfly Battleground.